if you are down to get pounded out by some dude behind your husband's back on your wedding night, what the is all of this ceremony about? What are you doing? You still have, Cyril Gahn up here. That's by circumstance. Okay. Do you have any idea what Almeida would do to Cyril Gahn? That is a foregone conclusion. There's no reason to even do that fight. All right, it's Mother's Day, and I bet a lot of you guys are going to need something to watch or listen to because there's a lot of downtime on Mother's Day. I'm going to give it to you because I got stories to talk about. We're going to talk about the fights last night. Talk about Almeida, his future in the UFC. I want to talk about the heavyweight division in general. I definitely want to talk about Anthony Smith and his fight and post-fight, what he's thinking about, etc. Talk about Michael Bisping lighting a fan up, if I am able to remember that part. Ian Gary, and then I want to talk about these two kind of sensational stories that are coming out of like kind of Scandal Planet. It's like, what's going on in Scandal Planet in the UFC this week? It's like, well, Tim Elliott outed the fact that his wife had been having an affair with his best friend before, during, and after their wedding. Like, on the wedding night, apparently, she was with the dude. So I'll show you guys that post, and then I'll show you pictures of the wife, the dude, and we could talk about what you can see in a picture, because I looked at that picture of her, and no offense, Tim Elliott, I assume that, don't take this personal. I'm just going to say, like, I'm pretty good at reading the room, and I looked at a picture of her. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's the kind of girl that would have sex with your friend on your wedding night. That's what her eyes look like to me. She looks like a, what's the right word? Sexual deviant. That would be my guess. I would guess that she's down for whatever, dude. Can't get enough. Anyway, and then I want to talk about Coach Eric, Henry Cejudo's coach, who has been tied up in a very concerning scandal where someone is accusing him of assault. Assault, did you say? I did, yes, assault. What type of assault? The worst kind. The kind where a woman loses her chastity and it wasn't her choice. Are you saying that he... Yes. Wow. Why are you being so nonchalant about it? Well, I mean, listen, if you say not all assaults are made equal, right? Oh, so he didn't like assault her? Well, it depends on your definition, Depends on your definition. Well, do you think that it would be reasonable for her to have any like lasting trauma from this? Well, I'll put it to you like this. If she said that she had trauma from the story that she told, labeling this assault, then she needs to get her head checked for reasons that are much more concerning than this incident. So we'll talk about it. Basically, if this constitutes assault, right, then every girl in the United States has been assaulted many, 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 many times. So get over it. I'm just saying, get over it. I'm just saying, get over it. Get over it. I'm just saying, get over it. Crybaby. Anyway, so, and this is coming from a guy with 3 daughters, a wife and 3 daughters. Get over it. Okay. Get over it. So we'll talk about that also. Now, if you like the content, go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell. You can just do the right thing and subscribe because I would do it if it was your channel. Let's start with the fights last night. So obviously Almeida dispatched of Rosenstreich very easily. And this is a notable story right out of the gate because you got another serious contender at heavyweight. I mean, look, at heavyweight, it seems like there is always slim pickings in terms of like who are the top guys. Normally, under normal circumstances, it's like there aren't really that many scary guys at heavyweight. But in this case, all of a sudden, you have a bunch of really scary guys. Cold turkey may be great on sandwiches, but there's a better way to break your bad habits. We're not talking about some weird mind voodoo from your crazy neighbor. We're talking about our sponsor, Fume. And they look at the problem in a different way. Not everything in a bad habit is wrong, so instead of a drastic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad from your habit? Fume is an innovative, award-nominated device that does just that. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses all natural, delicious flavors. You get it. Instead of bad, Fume is good. It's a habit you're free to enjoy and makes replacing your bad habit easy. Your Fume comes with an adjustable airflow dial and is designed with movable parts and magnets for fidgeting, giving your fingers a lot to do, which is helpful for de-stressing and anxiety while breaking your habit. Now, I personally share the bad habit that we are referencing in this ad, and The Fume device does help a lot because a lot of it is just about fidgeting and doing something with your face. It makes a huge difference for me. Stopping something we all put off is hard, but switching to Fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Fume has served over 100,000 customers and has thousands of success stories, but there's no reason that can't be you. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to tryfume.com/Jesse and use promo code JESSE to get 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com and use code JESSE for an additional 10% off on your order today. So it's interesting that all of a sudden we have this influx of incredible talent at heavyweight. It's really exciting because exciting heavyweight fights are awesome. And Almeida is a huge, I don't know. I mean, listen, I will acknowledge this. I never used to get excited about elite grapplers, you know? Like, just as a fan, I would be like, all right, you know, I can respect how good they are, but I was never, like, excited because one of these super elite grapplers was going to fight. As a matter of fact, I would always root against them because I like seeing people get punched in the face, kicked in the face. It's more exciting, right? Or I thought it was then. Now, maybe it's because, you know, all I do is train jiu-jitsu for the last multiple years. So now maybe that has to do with it. But I also think that guys like Almeida and Khamzat Chimaev are this different breed of guys where their grappling is so ridiculous that they literally you can come in and they're not doing the thing where they're laying on their back, you know, and it's like, come on, like the old school guys. They literally go in, they shoot super fast. And if they grab a hold of one ankle, it's just a matter of time. They're just going to climb up your body. They're going to trip you. They're going to take you down. They're so good at both wrestling and submission grappling. It's like and Almeida, honestly, it's like watching a slow motion drowning, you know? It's like and if you have any experience being on the mat with people who are better than you, where like really much, much better than you, and you know, like that feeling of this wet blanket that's just getting heavier and heavier and heavier, and you just feel like there's no right answer. That's exactly what it's like to watch him, and I'm very, very impressed. Obviously, he's incredible. He made incredibly short work of Rosa Streak. And one thing I want to talk about when it comes to him also is this. So this is actually funny. Chael literally just told me this story this morning, and I hadn't even put this together to connect these two things. But Chael told me a story about a guy from that used to train with him, used to train with Bisping. I won't use the guy's name, just, you know, out of respect for the guy. But he was saying that this guy, like, this is a well-known thing, that this guy was like the biggest monster ever in the training room, that like no one could ever beat this guy in the training room. And he was one of the worst competitors ever, where like every time he would compete, he would find a way to lose. It was like, you know, some kind of disconnect between the guy's skills and his ability to execute in the octagon when he would actually fight. And there was a reason he was telling me that story. It's unrelated to this, but I had been thinking about this as it relates to Almeida after watching a bunch of his highlights yesterday and then watching the fight last night. Almeida is the exact opposite of that. Okay. And if you think that's not a major factor in consideration when you're handicapping how you think they're going to do, then you're out of your mind. It's probably the most important thing. Is how are they, like, do they step up to the plate when the pressure's on? You know, when they're the center of attention and everything's on the line, do they step up or do they fold? Okay? Because that is one of those things that is the performance that a person gives is so important to the outcome, obviously. And Almeida, first of all, he's won 14 straight fights. 14 straight fights. This is that type of guy, where he's going to come in, you know he's going to grapple you. He's just like one of these headhunter, you know, heavyweight that you're like, oh my God, if this guy can knock anybody out. Almeida, it's like, dude, if this guy gets his arms around you, you are done. You are a finished, he's a boa constrictor and you are just along for the ride. You could try to defend. He's amazing on the ground and it's really exciting to watch. And and now you look at the heavyweight division, like, look at this, dude. Look at this. Whoop. Let me go back. Sorry. Look at this. Okay, look at the heavyweight rankings. You got John Jones as the champion, which is really unfortunate given the fact that there are so many contenders now, and he's talking about retirement. Listen, dude, does he really want to fight these guys? I doubt it, obviously. But you got John Jones. Okay, now you have Sergey Pavlovich. Okay, now we got Tom Aspinall, and now we got this guy Almeida. These are the guys. Okay, these are the guys: Almeida, Aspinall, Pavlovich, Jones. Those are the guys. And I know it's like you still have Cyril Gane up here. That's by circumstance. Okay. Do you have any idea what Almeida would do to Cyril Gane? That is a foregone conclusion. There's no reason to even do that fight. Okay. There's no reason to even do that fight. Almeida 100% shoots, takes him down, strangles him. Just like that. Right? So I'm excited to see what's next at heavyweight because that guy is very, very exciting. Now, also, let's talk about the Anthony Smith fight with Johnny Walker. Because, I mean, listen, dude, like I'll say this. I'll say this. I saw Bisping in his live stream after I was live streaming my reaction to it also. But I watched this morning and Bisping was responding to a fan question. Like someone super chatted him $2 and they were like, hey, Anthony got smashed. And especially after he talked all that crap. And Bisping's like, Bisping just went off on the guy. He told him to take his $2, shove it up his ass, and then unsubscribe. He actually said that. But first, he fed the troll a little bit where he gave a real answer to an idiot who, I mean, either is too stupid to know what he's talking about or is just trying to get a reaction. But nonetheless, Bisping pointed out the obvious, which is like, what is he supposed to say before a fight? He's supposed to say he's not supposed to be confident before he goes and locks himself in a cage and fights a guy. Like, of course he's going to be confident and say the things that he says. And he's like, so take your money and shove it up your ass. And the thing is like, well, first of all, just in the fight in general, I thought Johnny Walker did, executed an excellent game plan. I mean, he's super tall. He's super long. The challenge with being as tall and long as Anthony is it's same thing as like, not just Anthony, but like John Jones. Guys who are used to, being even or having a reach advantage, when all of a sudden they're up against a guy who has tremendous reach advantage over him, it really seems to, it does. It causes problems. It's like distance management is the most important thing in the dance of striking, or at least it's like the most fundamental important thing is like, when am I in the danger zone? How am I controlling when I get into the danger zone? Is he ready for me when I'm in the danger zone? And am I landing once I'm in there? And am I avoiding being hit by him? And when another guy can hit you from much further away than you can hit them, obviously that makes it much more challenging for you. And you have to navigate around that. And Johnny used the fact that he was longer to just beat that front leg up, Like those kicks that he was landing to the calf were heavy, and you could hear they were flush right on the back of the leg. And Anthony's so tough, man. The guy is like, I mean, if there's anyone questioning that guy's heart, you're out of your mind. You look at the Teixeira fight, 3 consecutive 10-8 rounds. The guy's teeth are all over the ground, and he's still going out there. And people always are looking for a reason to hate on people. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people are looking for reasons to hate on people, and they're like, oh, he talked all this crap and he got beat. It's like, the thing that I don't understand why people can't connect the following. You are not in a position to talk shit about Anthony in any capacity related to his fight career. Like, I just don't understand how people don't get that. I've never understood it. It's like, okay, he talked all that crap, then he got in there and fought against a world-class fighter who's 6'6", and he couldn't manage the distance as well as he hoped he could, and the guy kicked his legs out from under him. Okay? He also is a husband, a father of 4. He's a really good dude. And losing in the UFC, especially when you're at the place where he's at, is absolutely devastating for these idiots that would go on and say a thing like that. It's devastating in a way that you're not even capable of understanding because you don't have anything that matters to you like people like him. A central focus, a central pursuit that is everything in your life. Okay? Because if you did, you wouldn't be online trolling people. You know what I mean? It's just bottom line. Like, you would, if you had something like that in your life, you wouldn't do those things. Right? Because you would understand and you would relate to people like him, and you would understand it's like, There's taking a loss in mixed martial arts is utterly devastating to guys. And the older they get, the worse it is. Because like I've said a million times, this is not the end for Anthony. He's going to keep fighting, dude. You know, I heard Dana say that he's thinking about retiring, and I know he took his gloves off in the octagon. I mean, who knows? I don't know. I texted him and everything, but I haven't spoken to him since the fight. That's the other thing I don't understand. It's like, dude, if you know that a guy is friends with someone, why, when I was live, I knew people were going to be like if we're going to talk shit in the chat, Anthony's going to get smashed, bro. He's going to get smashed. And then if he lost, they're going to be like, oh, dude, he's washed. Like, specifically because they know I'm friends with him. It's like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Are you unaware that if we were sitting in my living room together, that would be super taboo? You would never say a thing like that? Like, are you unclear on that? You know, the thing about keyboard warrior, you say things that you would never say in person. That's what we're talking about, Oh, this is his friend fighting. He really, really wants him to win. So when he loses, I'm going to talk shit. It's like, yeah, see, that's what we're talking about. You would never in a million years do that in person. And not because, I'm not even talking about because I'd fuck you up. It's just like common human decency, it's just like common decency. No one does that, Anyway, but I've talked about that on the channel a million times. It's like every single UFC fighter who has 8 brain cells knows that the ride has an end date and the future after the end date is very unclear, right? And I am open to a conversation about which situation is easier to manage when you walk into that unknown void, whether you're a person who has a family or you're single and you've kind of kept yourself detached from things. Because if you're detached, at least no one is relying on you and you don't have the added pressure of how am I going to take care of this family, But at the same time, I am a firm believer that for people like us, all of you guys, I'm sure, well, all of you guys that are not, tight, oh, Anthony, not troll guys, but the majority of us, people like me and you guys, Anthony, Bisping, any of these guys that fight, we need structure, man. That's what we need. We're self-destructive, I think is where I'm going. It's we're self-destructive. A good girl keeps us together, kids especially. I think that's very healthy. I can, in the end of a career, if you got no one tied to you, you got no reason to try to do something better. I'm sure it goes very bad for a lot of people. Anyway, but the point is, they all know that the ride's going to end at a certain point, and I'm not at all saying that Anthony's ride's over. I'm just saying that I understand his brain. I completely understand his brain. And for guys like him, it's all about chasing the title. Okay. And so in his mind, the equation that he's doing is I just lost to Uncle Iev and I just lost to Johnny Walker. And Johnny, it wasn't fluky. Johnny Walker fought a better fight than I did. I'm how old? Is there a scenario where I can go on a run and get a title shot? If he thinks there's no scenario where he can get to the title, then that's where he's going to be making a decision. I don't know which direction he'll go, but I promise you that is his equation. I would bet my life on it. If he can't see a pathway to the title, that's where he will seriously start considering retiring. Simple as that. I asked him one time, if he would go into coaching when he was done. Because I think he'd be a phenomenal coach, dude. An exceptional coach. I think he's undervaluing how good he would be as a coach because he's he's been the fighter. But he was like, no way, dude. He's like, no, I'm not coaching. And I was like, what if you were coaching someone who was chasing the title, someone who was a real deal contender that could? And he's like, okay, yeah, that's different. So anyway, the sport is super unforgiving, and I don't know. I hear people say all kinds of stuff. Anthony is a good dude. He came from nothing. He built himself up through hard work and stubbornness. He's a good person, dude. There's no one that knows him that doesn't like him. There's no one who like knows him well that I know of that doesn't like him. He's a good dude, man. So I don't really have a dog in the fight of what I hope he does from here. I just hope that, he feels good about whatever he does, And the other thing too is he's set up pretty well going into retirement. Like he's got the podcast with Bisping. He's, working with ESPN every event. He's in a good spot, dude. He's in a good spot. But anyway, and then I just wanted to say that Ian Gary is the guy, and I've been saying this forever since the first time I saw him fight. Ian Gary is the guy. He is the man. He is going to go on a run. It's going to be very exciting. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes up against like elite grapplers at the top of the division. So we'll see how that goes. Now, let's talk about some sensational stories because let's start with Get Over It. Let's start with this one, okay? So the title of this section is... Oh, you don't like it? Oh, you don't like what he did? You don't like what he did? Boo. So, Bai Nguyen is not going to like me now. King David told me that Chris Curtis is mad at me, and I don't understand that because I've never said anything negative about Chris Curtis, but I slept on it, and I think that he might be making it up. I think he might be making it up because he's an insanely good marketer, self-promoter. If he wasn't the age that he is, he would 100% be in the UFC. But anyway, so yeah, my brain just went there because I'm like, well, this chick's gonna hate me forever. But it is what it is because if you earn my, if I'm gonna give you some commentary on something that you did, sorry, this is just my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and rattle this story off real quick. So Killer B recently made her professional boxing debut under the Gamebred boxing banner last month, securing a win over Andy Nguyen. Prior to that, Bai Nguyen competed in the Asia-based promotion 1FC and squared off with some of the organization's top stars, including Stamp Fairtex. Now, this is a hot girl, dude, right? That's a hot girl. But if you look in those eyes, right? If you're good at reading eyeballs, let me tell you what you see there. That is a girl that's been hurt. Okay? She's been hurt. She trusts nobody. And I'm talking on the dude side. This is not an easy get. This is not a girl that you meet at the club and bring home. Okay? That is the most suspicious girl I've ever seen. Straight up. You go up on her and you're like, hey, I saw your fight. Are you, like literally anything you say, she's like not listening. She's like, scumbag. She's like, what are you trying to... What's your angle here, dude? You think you're going to get in my pants? Are you fucking serious? Get out of here. If you crack this right here, you did something very impressive. And Eric, Coach Eric, Cejudo's guy, is a great dude. He was at the same bar as us after 270. He's rolling. Like, this is exactly who he is all the time. So when I tell you that this dude is not the type of dude who is going to crack the code on this mean-ass suspicious girl, that is exactly what I'm telling you. However, does Eric strike you as a guy, like an assaulter? Someone who would like assault a girl? No. Now, I'm sure you guys can guess where this is going, right? Because everything happens inside of a club. So I'll just skip right to it. They're talking about... Eric Albauer, whatever. Coach Eric, coach of Henry Cejudo, middleweight contender Paulo Costa, touched her inappropriately while at a nightclub. Oh my gosh. He touched her inappropriately? What did he do? I've had run-ins with the guy, Nguyen said before elaborating on her comment. We don't have any relationship now, but I've had a bad run-in with him in Vegas for sure. He was drunk, and we were at a club. Oh my God. Hold up. He was drunk in a club in Las Vegas? The audacity of this guy. In a club in Las Vegas, drunk? Unreal. You mean he wasn't sober and just posting up and judging people like you? I'm just saying. Anywho, he was drunk. We were at the club. We were at Hakkasan together, and he grabbed my arm and then he touched my butt. And I was like, should I do something? But I didn't. But I'm down to be cool with him, but that was just a bad run-in with him. Okay, this is not even close to as bad as I thought. Nonetheless, why are you talking about this? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Let's actually watch it. Oh, look at that.
Working as a 15-year-old away from home at a bar, like
It's fun.
you're okay with this?
Yeah.
And you're not.
Oh,
Yeah, I went to school.
You went to school.
hold up. We got problems. Boom. Okay.
Okay. You enjoyed it more than California.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you meet another guy.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you about this, or would you rather not talk about it? I mean, this is part of your story, and we've never talked about it, and I think it is inspiring what you've had to overcome.
Oh my God.
That was a tough relationship.
Yeah.
Abusive.
Yeah.
Oh, she's not talking about
to the point where
Eric.
like you ever felt like it was.
Yeah. Like deadly?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
How long into the relationship?
6 years.
No, how long into the relationship did it get?
Violent?
Yes.
Like
okay.
4 months.
First of all, I have not seen this, for the record. I swear on my children, I have not seen that. And now I feel like a dick for saying what I said about her reaction to Coach Eric in the club. But here is what I'm going to also say. I told you I can read people, dude. Told you. What did I say about her? This is a girl that's been hurt. Okay. I knew nothing about her. I literally didn't even know who she was, except for this story that she was mad that Coach Eric grabbed her butt. And I was like, grabbed her butt? Who fucking cares? You know? Now I retract what I said. I feel like a dick. She's going to see this and she's going to think that I was being insensitive and mean, and I was, and I apologize now. But nonetheless, who gives a shit if Coach Eric grabbed your butt in a fucking club in Vegas? Like, Jesus. But, you know, it is what it is. I like I said, no one's cracking this code in a bar environment. You know what? Let's just move on. Now I feel like a dick, dude. She was in a seriously like abusive relationship or whatever. But nonetheless, Coach Eric's clear on this. He's a goofball, dude. He's like a goof guy. Hey, grabs the butt. Like, come on. If Coach Eric grabbed my wife's butt, not even because I know he's an exceptional, grappler, I would just be like, come on, guy. Really? You want to grab a butt? Why don't you grab daddy's butt? You know what I mean? And that is as far as it would go. All right, so Tim Elliott situation. So MMA Twitter reacts as UFC fighter says wife cheated on him with training partner on wedding night. Now, like I was saying, okay, when I saw this picture, you know what I thought to myself? Deviant. Both of them, actually. But I don't mean deviant necessarily even as a negative. I might be something of a deviant, Gabrielle might be something of a deviant. You guys wouldn't know. But this girl right here, she is down like a clown Charlie Brown, Down like a clown Charlie Brown. And apparently she was down like a clown Charlie Brown with Tim Elliott's best friend and training partner the night of their wedding and many other times. Okay, so let's read what we're talking about here. So this is the post that Tim Elliott put up. You want to see something gross? This is my wife reading vows to my daughter on our wedding night. The guy holding the microphone was my friend and teammate. And by the way, the guy that you asked to do your marriage, that's a really good friend. I mean, he's obviously not a good friend, but like someone you consider a very good friend. My wife cheated on me with this guy the same night, and they had a relationship our entire marriage. So yeah, that is interesting, dude. And a lot of people, obviously commented on this. They're like, dude, I'm so sorry. My ex-wife cheated on me. We didn't have kids. Can't imagine this. Disgusting. And I think I even commented on it where I'm like, I don't even know, or I'm not sure if I actually tweeted it or not, but like, this is my take on it. If that happened to me, if that was Gabrielle and I found out that she cheated on me with my best friend or any of my friends, period, on our wedding night, like, honestly, the rest of it is almost like ancillary. Like, that is the most low down, devious shit of all time. You fuck around on your wedding night, dude? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it just shows such a, a person's character that would do that is so flawed that it's unreal. And I'm not just talking about like, oh, you're cheating. It's like the whole thing encompasses, like, just take the whole picture. It's like, why, if you are down to get pounded out by some dude behind your husband's back on your wedding night, what the fuck is all of this ceremony about? What are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are you getting married, you fucking weirdo? You know? Like, why are you getting married? Cheating on a boyfriend is still low down, but at least it's not like, I mean, cheating on your spouse on your wedding night? Come on, dude. You know, I'm not a person who throws rocks at people who have like, I'll be totally straight with you guys. I mean, I'm just gonna be completely straight about this because we're 31 minutes into this video, and I figure only the OGs that really understand life are still watching. I am not a person who thinks that like that a person who has like a side piece in their marriage is always like doing something terrible. I've even suggested that people get a side piece in some cases to Gabrielle. Like, she's telling me about a girl that's in this situation. I'm like, why does she just get a side piece, dude? You know? Oh, she's not sexually attracted to her husband, but they have 2 kids together and they've got this and this and this going on. It's like, if he does, like, honestly, if you gave him the choice of her shattering their home and him having to start over, or she has some secret side piece that he doesn't know about, but he gets to keep the family together, I guarantee you he's going to pick that, you know? Like, why? I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, to me, it's life is gray, dude. You know, life is gray. So I'm not like a person who's one of these, like, you know, fundamentalist weirdos where there's no scenario where blah, blah, blah. I mean, obviously lying to your spouse is bad anyway, but there's like, anyway, you understand what I'm saying. I think you do. But this shit is just fucking next level devious, you know? And the friend, are you serious, dude? I mean, I don't know. That's actually kind of hot if you're the dude. As long as you're not, as long as it's not your real friend. Like, as soon as it's like your real friend, well, the only thing that's hot is like, you know, banging a chick on her wedding night. But only if you have no soul and you're solely being driven by, like, you know, like, just in terms of like a sexual fetish thing, it's kind of hot. But like, as soon as you actually think about the human element, it's like, yeah, I feel like me being a bad person on a level 10 kind of supersedes that. It's, you know, kind of a turn on that this is the last thing that this little skank should be doing, and yet she's letting me pound it anyway, you know? So there's that. But I mean, I don't even know, dude. Can you, I am not built this way, dude. I just can't even, I can't stress this enough. Like, I can't relate to this because I am not built like this. You know, let's look at this dude too. So, I mean, this is Tim Elliott, but like, let me look at the other guy. Hang on. I mean, you can't really see his eyes. But the bottom line, dude, like, if I have my hand on a vajayjay and it belongs to one of my good friends and I just did their wedding ceremony, it's just like one of those things, like, that would never happen. Like, it's like there is absolutely no scenario. There is no scenario. There's no like sequence of events that could happen in my life where that would ever happen. I would never, ever. I can't even relate to it. All I can say is that guy's a piece of shit. That's it, dude. I feel bad for Tim Elliott, obviously. I mean, if that happened to me, I don't even know. I honestly don't know how you would recover from that. Like, you know, you go through the song and dance, you're all, I'd fuck that guy up, man. If that guy pulled that shit with me, I'd kill him. But like, you know, play it out, dude. It's the same thing as like, you know, if some guy murdered your kid and then you found out who they were, you're like, yeah, I would kill them. I would dismember them. It's like, all right. And then what? It's like, do you feel better? It's like, no, you don't feel better at all. You still, like, your kid's still gone, you know? Maybe you got like fleeting satisfaction hurting the guy, but nothing can make it better, dude. Nothing can fix it. There's no fixing it. And that's the same thing here. It's like your wife, the girl you married, betrayed you like that. There's no fixing it, dude. With your friend, there's no way to like zip that back up. You know what I mean? And then you go into every other relationship after that and you're like, well, Jesus, I was completely blind to what my girl was doing the last time. I had no fucking idea. And so, yeah, this girl seems like she's on the up and up, but she's probably you know, when she's at work, she's probably going, I mean, because this is the kind of thing that's like, a person who would do this on the wedding night is the kind of person where, like, at the office, her boss, you know, is like, hey, can you come help me with these papers? And she's like, oh, papers? It's like, yeah, the papers. And she's like, I know what that means. And she comes in there and just fucking drinks his cum. You know what I mean? So now you got to be suspicious of everyone. Anyway, all right, that's what I got. I love you guys. Peace.